It seems that we're back in the situation we were a couple weeks ago. We're playing a team now. They've had 2 weeks to get ready for us. We're playing a team that is experienced up front, have talented football players that they're at a position in their schedule where if they don't win, their chances for postseason play and a lot of things go out the window. So I'm sure they're going to play with energy and excitement and play probably the best game they've played all year long, because if they win this game, they still have chances for postseason play and all those sort of things.
Rocky, is there any concern that what happened against Wyoming might happen against Colorado State?
The concern I have is that we don't play well. If we don't play well, we don't have a chance to win.
What do you see when you see Thomas on film?
I see a guy that's improved a lot, plays with more confidence, has a better handle on their offense than he did last year. He's not playing like a rookie anymore. He's playing like a veteran.
When he was at Valhalla, how much did you see of him, and how much were you involved in the recruiting process?
Well, I wasn't at all involved in his recruiting process at that time. I had a different recruiting area, and I wasn't the head coach, so I wasn't concerned about what offensive players were recruited. I was more concerned about what defensive players were recruited. So other than last year when we played against him, I never watched him in high school and wasn't involved at all.
You see the difference between their first 4 games and their last 4, Rocky? I mean, they went, I think they started out 3-1, and now they've lost 4 in a row. I mean, there's something you can see that happened to them?
No, there's no significant difference. They've been in some very tight games. The 4 they've lost, they could have won with a break here or there or a turnover here or there. They would have won all 4 of those, except for one. I take that back. The Boise State game, they wouldn't have won that one. But the other 3 of the 4, they would have.
Coach, Ryan Lindley hasn't had the best year statistically, but what has he meant for the team coming in as a 4-year starter, maybe the most critical position on the football field?
Well, I mentioned this way before the season ever started, that he might not have as good a year statistically because he didn't have 2 NFL wide receivers out there. And you hate to be right, but that you could see that before the season ever started. So I think that he's played, on the most part, he's played really well. And his leadership and experience are invaluable to our team.
I think there'll be a little extra pump going against another East San Diego County kid on the other side throwing football.
Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You can ask him. I don't think he will, because they don't play at the same time. They're watching each other, yeah.
Did you like last week how you were able to get Walter in a little bit, give Ronnie some rest, especially as you're going on the road to play in an altitude game, and how did those two complement each other?
Well, they complement each other because Ronnie's a very patient, kind of wait till a seam opens up and then burst through a seam. Walter's more of a downhill runner. He heads toward the line of scrimmage where the hole's supposed to be and makes his cut going full speed downhill. So Walter is a changeup, even though they're the same size. They have completely different running styles, so it is a changeup. And both of them play in all the games. So
Who's tougher?
I don't think one's tougher than the other. I don't know. You want them to fight and find out?
Coach, what's your plan of attack going to be? Because Colorado has 2 extremely good DNs. They get 3 sacks a game. What's the plan against? I guess what are you going to do against that? Aggressive defense like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Colorado State has talented players in a lot of positions. Their wide receivers are really good. Their running backs are pretty good. Their offensive line's good, and on defense, their defensive line's the best in the league at rushing the passer. They've got the most sacks in the league. I think they've got 2 defensive end that are in the top 20 or 25 guys in the country that for number of sacks. So they do a great job of rushing the passer. There's things you can do to try to slow them down. Obviously, if you run the ball really, really well, they don't run up the field quite as fast, and they don't attack the passing game quite as easily if they have to sit there and play the running game. You can keep tight ends in, you can keep backs in to add to protection, or you can chip them. Backs can chip them on the way out, or you can double team them with and single up other guys. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, but everything you do to take away one guy or to protect the quarterback from one guy, it shortens what you do on offense. It shortens the number of receivers out in a pattern and all those sort of things.
You said the last couple weeks that there's no answers for why this team starts slow and finishes fast in the second half of games. Has there been any emphasis on starting fast in any new way this week?
There's an emphasis every week on starting fast. I think that on offense that's not the case. I think the offense has had some games where they started really fast, and they've had games where they didn't start so fast. On defense, I think it is a constant. We don't play well, or we haven't played well in the first half on defense, and we play much better in the second half on defense. I mean, I don't know exactly how many games, but there's been 3 or 4 games where our offense has taken the ball the very first series of down and taken it down the field and scored. So the defense playing slowly in the first half and better in the second half is not the whole team. We emphasize it every week. We start practice with the one offense against the one defense and the 2 offense against the 2 defense. Last week we did that, and then we kicked field goals because we had struggled with field goals the week before. I don't know. We're not planning on trying anything different this week. I haven't got confirmation, but I asked the trainer if he thought there was any way the doctors are going to be wrong. He said no. So, but I haven't heard about the MRI yet. No.
Do you have a deadline for that?
No, I imagine if it was good news, they would have already told me because I think they read it this morning. I must not accept that kind of news very well because when it's bad news, they don't want to tell me.
It's a huge loss, obviously, Rocky. How do you feel in the loss of that?
Demetrius Barksdale will start in his place, and then younger guys like Josh Gabbert and Van S. Harris will get to play more. It's kind of like they got to play when we put Logan at the Aztec position for a couple games when we were playing against running teams. Those guys played more at linebacker. So what you're going to see is the same thing without him playing Aztec. And I thought Logan was the most consistent player we had on defense if you count the whole season. He played extremely well in the Wyoming game, and he was playing well against New Mexico too, so it is a big loss.
Coach, with all the stuff going on in Penn State and with Joe Paterno more than likely leaving, can you share us about what he's meant to college football?
I think that he's done unbelievable great things in football, and I don't mean just on the football field. He and I don't know him real well, but I've been around him a couple times. He's a stand-up guy. He stands for all the right things. In this situation at Penn State's a sad deal. I mean, it's a terrible deal, but it overshadows a lot of the one incident's going to overshadow all the good things that he's done.